You probably saw the thumbnail to this video and thought to yourself, is this some sort of clickbait? Well, I'm here to tell you it is in fact not, and I've actually figured out an offer that will print millions of dollars through space defense contracts. Today, I'm going to walk you through the steps of how you could do the exact same thing. No, you don't need to be a rocket scientist. You don't even need a single lick of experience in the space industry. I'll break it down in a way that's super simple, and by the end of this video, you'll be able to not only replicate what I've done, but actually print millions of dollars doing the exact actions I'm about to describe to you. And trust me, it's a lot easier than you think. Let's start with the basics here. I came across this offer randomly one night when I was putting together a leads list of people to go out to for my own offer. And I typed in space and it filled it with space defense, and up popped 300,000 leads. Yeah, 300,000. And this is all at partner level and above in terms of management level. The crazy thing, this number is actually growing faster than I can even keep a pulse on. Why? Because governments and corporations alike are interested in not only sending people to space, but also controlling space because it is the next frontier. Not only that, but when you look at places like Israel and other countries that have space defense solutions, it's absolutely mandatory that in this new age of warfare, you have access to space defense. Here's some key facts that are worthwhile mentioning while we're going through this. The US Space Force alone has a budget of $30 billion for 2024, and this is exactly where you're going to make your money. The best part about this, these contracts are not small. They range anywhere from $50 million to $200 million and above. Now, how do you tap into this space goldmine? Pretty simple, by connecting with the companies that are already doing the work. There are thousands of companies working on satellite systems, launch services, defense technologies, and other space-related projects. But here's the key part of all of this. Most of these companies are small to medium-sized businesses that still haven't figured out how they can actually land contracts for the services they're providing. The first step here is finding these companies. So how do you do it? Pretty easy. Use tools like Apollo.ai or LinkedIn Sales Navigator in order to find businesses that are specifically in space defense. Look for companies that have a record of securing government contracts, or even better, ones that don't yet. These are going to be the people that you can help the most, but they're unlikely to have as much experience, the money, or the clout with the government in order to get further contracts. Once you've identified your target companies, it's time to go to the head honchos. We're talking CFOs, CEOs, heads of business development, or even just partners in the business. Next, I would draft a really simple email that highlights your proposition to them. I've given you guys kind of an example. Hey Name is company name looking to expand its reach in the space defense sector. We specialize in connecting companies like yours with high-value government contracts. I'd love to discuss how we can help you secure your next deal. When's a good time for us to chat? Thanks, Name. Step 3 is the outreach and securing the actual contracts themselves. And this is the tricky part for a lot of people without sales experience. Given that you don't have much experience in this sector, you're gonna have to basically role play. The idea here is to ask as many questions about the business as humanly possible so that they feel like you, A, have a good understanding of what the right questions to be asking are, and B, like you really understand their business by the end of the conversation. The funny thing about this is, the better somebody feels that you understand their business, the better they feel they understand you. These kinds of contracts with the dollar values that we're talking about, they are all based on trust. So you are not going to be able to sell your way into a sale here. You must build the trust with these people, explain what you're going to do for them, and make them believe that you are the guy that can do it. Step 4 is negotiate and finalize the deals. Once you've got their attention and you've gone through a couple of calls with them, it's time to close. You're going to be aiming for contracts that are $50,000 up front on a 1-year retainer, but here's the real kicker. You're going to ask for 1 to 3% as a broker fee for brokering these transactions for them. This is where you really make your money. So every contract that comes through the door, you'll get a percentage back on that. I'll give you an example. Let's say you land them a $100 million space defense contract and you're taking 2%. Well, guess what? That means that you make $2 million for sending some emails to the government. If you're securing simply 1 or 2 of these contracts per month, you can easily be clearing $1 million per month. The beauty of this business is that you don't actually need to be in the space defense sector. You just need to be able to find these people willing and able buyers of their services. Let me break down how you'll actually find those people. The first way is sign them up for all of the government portals where you can bid on contracts. Now, I've done some work with defense contractors before, or at least I've spoken to a number of them. The main issue that is had with these portals is the fact that governments usually don't list the jobs available until after they've already figured out who's going to use it. By the time they hit these portals, it's usually too late. However, it is definitely worth it to sign your clients up for these portals. So let me tell you a few of them. The first one would be sam.gov, Systems for Award Management. This is generally the largest database that the government uses in order to award contracts. The next one would be NASA SEWP, which stands for Solutions for Enterprise-Wide Procurement. This is another portal that is used primarily by NASA in order to award large government contracts. The third one would be the Defense Innovation Unit, and they basically work to bring innovation into defense, and that includes space defense. The fourth one would be the Space Development Agency, SDA, and they focus on military space capabilities and often posts opportunities related to space defense. The last one would be the DoD contracting portals, which is Department of Defense contracting portals. There's a couple of them. The first one would be DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. DARPA contracts include cutting-edge defense technologies like space systems. The second one would be the U.S. Air Force and Space Force as well. These both have procurement offices, such as the Air Force's Space and Missile Systems Center, that handle space-related defense contracts. The last thing that you could do for these guys is find them all of the related networking conferences to do with space defense. These are all over the world, and especially in the United States, and these are great opportunities for them to meet potential buyers of their services. Simply by putting together a complete list of all of the different networking events they could go to and conferences, you will have given them a ginormous value add well worth the money and likely to close a deal. The next thing I would do is what I usually tell you to do, which is ram some cold emails. This time we'd be going out to government procurement officers, prime contractors, defense industry consultants and lobbyists, and space defense R&D departments. Lastly would be industry association and influencers. These are just big names in the space defense space. This can be figured out by doing a couple hours of research on LinkedIn and other popular platforms like Twitter in order to figure out who the most prevalent people in this space are and trying to reach out to them directly. Once you've secured one contract, it's time to scale. I wouldn't recommend overdoing it. I would recommend signing 2 or 3 additional clients. This would have you at about $150,000 for the year, which should be a comfortable wage. And then it's time for you to make your real money on the back ends. Go out there as hard as you possibly can, sign as many clients for these companies using the exact methods I just explained. So there you have it. The exact blueprint to create your own multi-million-dollar space defense contract. I bet you didn't think you were going to learn that today. If you follow these steps, there's really no reason that you shouldn't start closing your first space defense contracts within a handful of months. It's all about identifying the right opportunities, finding the right companies, and then reaching the right clients. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel where I tell you guys multi-million-dollar offers every single week. And drop a comment if you guys have any questions or there's anything else that you guys would want to know about space defense or any of the other offers that I post here. Finally, this was Zastre, and I'm here to help you make your first million.